Good evening, everybody. My name is Mackie, and welcome to the video. Today is March 2nd, 2023, but it's also a day of mourning. A day when we are cry and be sad about it. A day when we all just scream in frustration, why, oh why? Why it could have been me? Why it could have been anybody else? A day when we, doesn't give a damn anymore and we just have to move on. But some people don't handle grief as well as others. Alistar, 750. Asol, 876. Braun, 725. 625. Dr. Mundo, 1,541. Fiora 505. Ladies and gentlemen, we have reached an epidemic. An epidemic that is so horrible, so tragic, so miserable that it sent the community into a frenzy. It has poisoned a lot of people. It has destroyed a lot of lives. It has pretty much destroyed a lot of tables and computers all across the world. Skins. For the last several years, Riot has implemented skins as their way to bring out colorful personalities and wowness into some of the people. But for others, the people are been shelved so many times. Put it in for 50, 100, 200. Maybe they're not going to be, or maybe they're not going to get skills at all. While some may have the benefits of having skins, like your Hammerbeingers and your Malzabis and all those kind of stuff, others are just lifeless, stuck with the same skin all over again, year after year. And to you, it's frustrating. To everybody else, it is. This abuse by Riot has been going on too long. And I think it's time for us, the community, to stop it. So please, if you want to help these and other champions get the skins that they want, please subscribe to my channel, go to Reddit, and complain about it. Let's make sure that these people get the skins that they needed. Thank you. Ladies and gentlemen, okay, that is a pretty dark way to start the whole video, but I think it's important enough. Hello everybody, my name is Mackie and welcome to the video. If you like the video, go sub, do what you want, comment, all those kind of things. Ladies and gentlemen, this is a special video because today we are going to talk about League of Legends. But Akeem, you already talked about League of Legends like a million times. Oh, okay, yeah, fine. We're talking about League of Legends. But most importantly, we are going to talk about other leagues. Yay! Isn't that cool? Is it that cool? You mean other leagues? Yeah. Yes. Now, listen. The LEC is already taking a hiatus, a small little break, after the winter split, and they will resume next week. In the meantime, to trying to fill the space and the void that's left the LEC in my heart, I decided to pile it up with some other leagues. Leagues that many people just feel like, not much to talk about, but needed to. I'm talking about my LEC, but also my LCK, the LPL, and the LCS, which at the time of recording, it's already started, so maybe we might change one or two things. But I digress. For now, we need to talk about them. Ladies and gentlemen, this video is titled The 4 Horsemen of Leaguepocolypse. Let's get it on. First up, the LEC and the Winter Finals. G2 versus Mad Lions, and I'm gonna, oh boy, how do I say this? How do I say this in the most honest way possible? Oh, it was a beatdown. It was a beatdown. Like, literally and figuratively, Mad Lions cannot even play the game. I mean, if you are faced a composition with Kled, top mid, and Tamara played in a bot, and you lose in both matches, if I were Mac, the coach, I will tell my players to unplug their controllers, do not even play the third game, and just give the title to G2. It's ridiculous, to be honest. It is absolutely ridiculous. Now, credit to Mad Lions. They put up a great effort in that third game to make it a little bit closer, to make it a little more dramatic as it will be. But once Hans Sama just go way off on Sivir and play incredibly for the mid and late game, it was pretty much over from there. And I have to say that G2 are pretty much like the most deserving winners, of course. And pretty much, honestly, the most, how do I say this? I'm not gonna say dominant, but the most consistent team in all the LEC. They're now won their 10th LEC split, more than any other team to ever grace the League of Legends. And not only they locked in MSI, but they locked in like LEC finals, come down the road in Montpellier come August, which is a huge deal for them because now, according to my Reddit post, which is roadtoworlds.gg, you should check that out. I'm probably gonna put in a link in the description below. They have now a 57% chance of making the Worlds, which is huge, which is pretty much huge for their confidence. I honestly don't have nothing to say about this finals other than that game 1 and 2 was absolutely brutal, and I think I said it. How are Mad Lions gonna beat a G2 team that can draft like any champion, any place, anytime? And there's absolutely nothing you can do about it. Well, we found our answer. They got absolutely stumped about, 25, 27 minutes-ish in both games? And if it wasn't for Yoya and Chasey, it would have been like another 20-plus minute game. But it didn't happen. And I think Mad Lions have caught, though, I've been doing it all the time. Having big leagues, dominate the game, and, got punished because of it. And when you're facing a team like G2 Esports, one of the most consistent teams ever, punishment is pretty much the meal course of the day, And they deserve it. They absolutely deserve it for, not controlling the advantage, not pushing, lanes to trying to finish it off. It almost felt like, Mad Lions were kind of like, we can do whatever we want. We can just dominate the game and then we'll probably win. That's what they do. And you know what? G2 punished them time and time ever again until, it was over after that. It was pretty much over. Caps Finals MVP, which, let's be honest, I would give it to Hans Sama because of his dominant performances. But I think Caps was also good. He was really good in that Cassiopeia game. But still, I would have given Hans Sama the award. But man, this was an absolute team-wide performance by G2. And I think based on how these teams are played out in the whole League of Legends concept, I think G2 are like, let's call it the 5th best team in the world right now in terms of MSI rankings. Because I think of JDG, Top Esports, T1, maybe Gen G-ish. Okay, maybe not Gen G-ish. But in terms of consistency, I look at T1, JDG, Top Esports is probably teams that I can feel like they can win MSI. And FlyQuest right now, but of course it's a long season and there's also playoffs, so you never know. But at the same time, I just felt like, the rookie, of course, we have a rookie in the jungler. We have like bot lane is pretty good. And of course, top lane has not been as great. Broken Blade has not having much of something in this series. Especially, he wasn't much of a factor in probably game 3, of course, when he got absolutely bought by Jace's Chazi's Jace. Yeah, okay. He wasn't doing much, and that's a worry for me. If he gets bought by a Korean top laner, he could get absolutely bought by a 369 or owner or Zeus in the top lane. I mean, that's the frightening thing about G2. That's the frightening thing I'm worried about, is that G2 could get absolutely bought by so many of the big name teams. They will not be worried about like the the PCS and the LCS and all those kind of regions. It's the big regions that I'm worried about. And I think G2 are gonna be fine, but of course the new patch is going to come up. And, the playstyles might be different, and how will the meta suits them? That will be the big question for them. Now it's good for that they win now, and it's good that they lock in the MSI slot, so they don't have to worry about much. But this spring split is going to be a chance of practicing the new meta and doing well, of course, and also gaining a lot of points because those points might be good enough to even like lock into like a top 4 seed. Yes, of course, winning your spring split means top seed in MSI and then locking in top four, and that's huge for them. But I think with some metas coming up, it will be a big test to see how G2 can manage the meta in the international stage. And that's good. And speaking of those international stage, let's look at the LCK. So, in the LCK right now, we have T1 on top. Whoop-de-doo, what a surprise. yeah, yeah. I had to say, man, Hololive Esports, Genji, D plus Kia, even KT roster are pretty impressive teams. I think based on the standings right now, Kwandong are gone, DRX are gone, shocker, and Nongchin Redfords are gone. And Breon are pretty much hanging on to DL Life by the skin of their fingernails, and I don't think it'll last. They're probably gonna get absolutely clapped by T1 tomorrow. But I feel like right now, T1 are the most consistent team ahead. Yeah. So Carrier and Owner, 17 MVPs each, which is scary and frightening as well. Especially mostly Carrier, because I feel like right now Carrier is my MVP for the LCK, and it's no surprise how good he was in support. He can play engages, he can play like long shots, like the Kalista he did. It almost felt like Carrier is a man possessed after what happened at Worlds, and it almost felt like there is nothing you can do to stop this guy. Once he's on form, he is on form. And right now, I put T1 as probably like the number one team to not only win the LCK, but probably win the whole MSI as well. But we all learned that last year after that undefeated season, it did not happen. So, yeah, But I feel like right now this T1 team look good than last season. They kept the same players, they kept the same coach. The meta doesn't have much of a change, of course, except a few tweaks. And yet this team is looking absolutely dominant. The only loss they lost to was Hololive Esports, which I can say, it's fine. It is what it is. But the way T1 have been playing all season right now, it makes you want to feel like who can stop them. D plus is fine, but the way they've been playing, it's not great. KT roster is KT roster. Hana Life is decent. I think they can make a chance. And of course, Genji, their biggest rivals. I mean, they're fine, they're good, but can they do that for like 5 games against T1? Let's be honest. Who in their right mind, in the LCK's right mind, can go 5 games with T1? Who in their right mind can go 5 games with T1? Anybody? Anybody? Sadly, no one. You can't even go like 3 games with them other than Hana Life. Like, that's a problem. That's a huge problem. So, do I believe that T1 will dominate their way into the LCK title? Well, not much, because I don't think, based on their schedule, I think they have D plus coming up, and then they got Hana Life to end, of course. And that's pretty much it. So I see them, they're going to win, like, I'm not going to say they're going to win all their games. I'm just saying they're going to lose, like, 1 or 2. And that'll be fine. Probably get, like, the one of those 2 top spots so they can get to, like, the double elimination stage, which is huge for them. But in terms of, like, how they look, how they've been playing, and how the rest of the LCK are, I feel like right now T1 are, like, heads and shoulders above everybody else, which is going to be scary for so many other teams. So many other teams, including China. Let's look at the LPL. So, LPL have LNG on top. Weibo is right there on the heels. And then you got Top Esports and JDG right there. Oh boy. And anyone's Legends. It's not looking good for them. Oh, wait, what's this? FBX? Oh my god. My god. Oh my god. Remember when they world champion 4 years ago? Pepperidge Farm remembers. Yeah, that's not great. And then you got some teams juggling in position. Thunder Talk, OMG, IG, who started off hot, but they just cooled off a bit. I have to say right now that I feel like Top Esports and JDG are just like those teams are also good enough. RG, EDG, sorry, your reign of terror is over. They're JDG and Top Esports like new kids right now, and I feel like this is no surprise. The top lane is incredible. GTN and 369 are incredible. The bot lane is amazing with Jackie Love in there for top. I wish I know a lot of LPL, but my LPL knowledge is kind of limited, so bear with me. But the way they've been playing right now, especially what JDG done this morning as I watch, it's just like they will be behind so many times, but if you give them a mistake, they will punish you and they will turn the game around and win. I mean, that's what happened in those 2 games against Top Esports. They were behind. They got a mistake from Top Esports, turn it around and won the games. Like, you cannot do that to JDG JDG cannot do that all the time, but you cannot give any team any leeway when you're facing against them. Which is why I think it's a bad matchup for so many teams, especially Top Esports, when you have a team that can just find ways to win games constantly, every single time. I feel like right now JDG and Top Esports are like the 2 top best teams. LNG are okay, but we will have to see you come down with the big name teams. How will they fare against the big name teams? So does Weibo. I think Weibo already have a taste of it, and it was sour and painful. Oh wait, they did beat JDG. Yeah, they did beat them. So, whoopsie daisy. EDG are okay. So yeah, these are pretty much the top 5, top 6 teams are looking right now. Not much to say about it. Not much to say, but I'm gonna tell you that. Woof. It is gonna be really spicy in the LPL. I mean, it can be really, really spicy, especially for the teams that needed to make playoffs. I mean, I look at Thunder Talk Esports and they were absolutely pretty, sometimes impressive, sometimes they're not. OMG are the crazy team that everybody loves, to play, to play because of their crazy style and the way they actually win games is incredible. IG are fine. Like I said, my LPL knowledge is kind of limited, so I'm sorry about that. But yeah, the table is right there. I feel like it will not be a surprise if Weibo, EDG, JDG, Top Esports, and LNG are gonna be like the 5 best remaining teams ever, and it's gonna be for like 2 remaining MSI spots, which is gonna be tough. But if I were to be blindfolded, hand on the club, and just put my mouth, I will write down who my 2 teams are, and I will say JDG, Top Esports. And if anybody said something otherwise, well, tough noodles. Finally, to the LCS. So remember last year when I ranted to how badly the LCS are in terms of production and the commentary and all this kind of stuff? Some of it are true. But I will say this, that the LCS product is slightly better. Slightly better with some personalities, players talking, players expressing myself. Hey, that Team Liquid's Van moment when he's telling you on to go back to the academy was a nice touch. Good job, QT Cinderella. And yes, the double lift, Latigrus whole segmenting was kind of like a disaster class of a performance, or disaster class of a segment. It wasn't her fault, but you know what? She deserved the blunt of the blame. I'm not saying she did deserve the blame, but still. I gotta say, the LCS is running a little bit smoothly. Now, do I believe it changes a lot of, how the viewership does? No, it doesn't, but from the eyes of many people, and from the eyes of many viewers, the fact that I'm seeing that the LCS is kind of like better right now, in terms of what viewership I said, in terms of what players, personalities, and all this kind of stuff, it's incredible. And the competition is not as bad as it is. FlyQuest, top dog, pretty much not surprising. Team Liquid are not looking great. 100 Thieves are not looking great. I mean, they're like below what? TSM? I mean, TSM is above TSM is above 100 Thieves and Team Liquid. What a joke. I think Dignity's gotta win. Yeah, Dig, you gotta win. Woo-hoo! Good job. You may not matter, but it's a win though. Oh, jeez. Golden Guardians. Hello. Where do you come from? Like, Seriously, no. Where do you come from? 0-4? I mean, yeah, you're supposed to be 0-4, but how the hell do you become third place in the standings? Like, what the heck? Now, at the time of the recording that I'm gonna make, the games will be already started right now, or some of the games will be probably finished, and that means the standings might change. But let's just go for what the standings of now will bring. I think FlyQuest will make it. I think Evil Genius will make it. I think Cloud9 will make it, despite the course the change of the mid lane with M&S in there. I think Cloud9 will be fine. I think they're good enough to be fine. I don't know if Golden Guardians can hold on that much. But the way Team Liquid are right now, I just don't see this Team Liquid team go through nor 100 Thieves. It is what it is. CLG are looking okay. Yes, they have some iffy performances, but I can say that, you know, CLG could are fine enough to make the playoffs. They could be like, I don't know, 9-9 to make playoffs. That's pretty much decent to me. Man, maybe Golden Guardians can make it. So I have FlyQuest, Cloud9, Evil Geniuses, CLG, Golden Guardians, and I think one more spot. Maybe let's just do a TSM. I mean, they replaced Neo with Wild Turtle. Hey, welcome back, Wild Turtle. That will like turn some hairs and be like, ooh, this will be interesting. But just like Double Lift, he hasn't played so much League that long. It's gonna be like, how will he do, man? It's not looking great. But I digress. Hey, at least he won more games than Fnatic this split, so I digress. Maybe you might have to do something here. Maybe Wild Turtle will turn back the clock and prove himself, or he'd be like Double Lift and be like oldage. That's all I think. So yeah, that is the look on all of these things league. Those are the 4 major regions. Now, of course, my knowledge of some of the regions are not as great. In fact, my knowledge of League of Legends Pro is not as strong as everybody else's, you know, with the analysts and everything. But I just decided, hey, I'm going to try, see if I can try something here. And if it works, great. If it doesn't, you can flame me in the comments. And that's about it. You know, that's just about it. It's not, yeah, that's a long video, like a really long video. Really long video. Really long. Anyways, that should do it. If you like the video, go like the video. If you wanted to subscribe about it, subscribe about it. If you want to talk about it, talk about it. I will be probably here, and if I'm trying to make a video, if I have like a big idea trying to make a video, I'll do that. Otherwise, I'll just wait until March 11 for the spring split. Or maybe I can talk about the spring split coming up next week. There'll be some interesting games coming up, and I can't wait. Anyways, go out there, have some fun, play League, drink some good Heineken for God's sakes. And stay safe, play responsibly, and I'll see you next time. Cheers!